welcome back to Stories and Sorceries. As always, I'm your DM, William Roberts, and I'm disappointed to announce that today we only have the three in our group, as our dear Ferdinand, voiced by Cody, is unable to make it. However, I am also excited to once again hand it over to Bryn as he gives us our announcement. Our one and only sole announcement. Oh, he broke it.
Oh, yeah. Hey guys, do you need dice? Do you need bags for those dice? What about Magic the Gathering or Dungeons & Dragons accessories? Well, if you do, I got the place just for you. Come on down to Small Town Games at 123 West Commerce Street in Lewisburg, Tennessee. And if you want to make it there so you know you're there on time and they're open for hours and prices, call 1-931-675-2800. And that will be it. Back to you, Will.
That will be it. And hey, if you're looking for something to kill time with on a Saturday, show up. You might catch one of us there as well. But, that being said, I think we can go ahead and wind into the session tonight. As we last left off, the four of you had made your way to Lake Lowry, to the lakeside settlement, and found your way to the Rusted Horseshoe Inn, where you met with Kyle, and he gave you the skinny on the whole escort scenario here.
Poor stressed Kyle.
It's very stressed, Kyle. Unfortunately, he informed you that the lady that you will be escorting can be quite finicky and quite prickly at times.
Oh, that's Kyle. Okay.
And that dear Edward would have to go by some kind of alias, as names that begin with E are not her, just not her thing. But as you made your plans, you took your rooms and retired for the night, only to briefly be roused by a ruckus in the common area, where our Edward Truffle came into confrontation with a larger gentleman with seemingly no regard for anyone else's personal well-being. And after a brief encounter, a brief scuttle, it ended relatively amicably, and you all retired back to your rooms to finish your long rest. And that is where we will pick up, as you all hear the first crew of the cock, and you awaken. What would you like to do?
Oh, what a good night's rest. Oh, Raleigh, you awake?
What a good night's rest. I'm so glad I didn't get my face beat in.
I didn't get touched, actually.
I didn't get touched either. I did all the touching.
Yeah, that's why you had such a good rest.
What?
Are you awake?
I just fucking talked to you. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, I thought you were doing that. Let's go check on Edward. He's probably not feeling very well.
Oh shit.
Now, Edward, I will tell you that as your rest was magically induced, you are still asleep.
Ah.
The noises of various cocks cannot wake you.
What were we supposed to be calling Edward?
Oh, is his last name Truffle?
Truffle.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll do a shuffle.
I don't know. We can certainly ask him. We probably made it to his room.
Oh, yeah,
Now, but
No, we just got to the
Just
door.
down the
Dunk,
landing.
dunk, dunk, dunk.
Truffle.
No response.
Alright, is it a chimney?
No,
We gotta get in.
Brother, there's no fucking chimney into his room.
Oh, wait. I got this. I got this.
You can pick locks, right? Is it
I
locked?
can pick locks, but fuck that.
At this time, Alfie, you hear a door open behind you. And Ferdinand pokes his head out of his room. He just kind of eyes you two for a moment before shaking his head and closing the door,
I reach into my bag of holding.
notably still in his PJs.
What do the PJs look like?
I believe they
Still
were polka dotted,
I would imagine.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
sans a butt flap.
I pull out this really, really mysterious key that's supposed to unlock a door.
Which key? The mysterious key that you took off of the would-be assassin, or
No,
the mysterious key that you've had for some
The
time?
mysterious key that I had.
Okay.
And I'm gonna attempt to open Truffle's door.
You attempt to open Truffle's door. Would you like to roll, or would you like me to?
I'd like to roll.
Go for it.
Bam! Nope, don't work. Pull out the lock picking kit.
The lock-picking kit. All right. With deft hands and minimal effort.
With my feet.
Okay, I will need a dexterity check.
Cool.
Brother, did you check and see if the door's unlocked first?
19.
No, he did not. As he picks the lock anyway, and the door.
With my feet.
Yeah, with your feet.
Whatever works, I guess.
Wait.
Truffle.
We need to have a conversation with him. He didn't lock his fucking door.
I thought
You
just,
wouldn't know that.
Yeah, you just unlocked it.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
You
Shit.
assume.
Yeah. Okay. So I walk up to
What?
his bed.
Wouldn't I
Is
know
he
if I
still-
heard the click or not? Like, I felt the click
I
of
mean,
the door.
The
used your hands,
the
maybe.
the entire process of picking a lock requires manipulation of the tumblers and mechanisms within. So even if it's already unlocked, you're gonna hear clicks.
Also, first off, I was asleep. Second off, you two carried me into my room.
Yes, that is true. You did.
So you guys didn't lock the door.
I don't remember that.
But yeah, I'll walk up to his bed and he's just
Oh yeah.
conked out.
Give me your ugliest snore.
Oh, he needs to get that breathing checked out. All right. Eddie. Oh shit, not Eddie. Truffle.
Wake up, Truffle.
Wake the hell up. I'll just shake
Truffle.
him.
You give him a good shake. He's still out.
Give him some slaps. Just
Just some nice little.
yeah,
claps.
just some little cheek slaps.
He kind of stops snoring for a moment, but he's.
Hey, Alfred.
Yeah.
Give him the good old dick twist.
I'm not gonna twist his dick. That's
Yeah,
just
wake
mean.
him up.
He's our friend, mate. I'll pull out my water skin and just pour some on his face a little bit. Just Truffle,
Edward,
wake the fuck up.
You're lost in a fantastic dream. You're wandering mystical forests and you find yourself falling down a small hill. You're a little bruised and battered, but the environment is just so fantastic.
But my nice farm family catches me.
And you make your way into a clearing where there's this beautiful crystal lake and a wonderful waterfall, and you just can't help to bask underneath its flows as you just kind of and as the water runs down your face.
I grab my water skin, I put it in the cup.
Okay.
I stick his hand in the cup.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Give me a Constitution save.
Oh.
Wait,
poor
did we
Eddie.
take his shoes off or no?
Did we take his shoes off?
Yeah,
I mean, I would assume.
I would assume we didn't, just so I could prank him.
Frank of John.
Constitution save. That would be an 11, so.
Okay. Place his hand in the water and you wait for a moment, intensely staring at where you believe his crotch to be. Just waiting. Because you know, this gets him every time. And sure enough, after a few moments of you and Alfie both just kind of standing there slack-jawed, looking at this sleeping man's crotch, a small wet patch slowly begins to appear.
This is just not right. Truffle, wake the fuck up. Just
Do I see his flute?
brother, go fucking get Ferdinand. He's gotta know. He put him to sleep. He's gotta know how to get him back up.
As you say this, the door kind of, and you see Ferdinand walking in, just kind of jostling one of the buckles on his belt.
Birdie, do you know
he
how to
seems
get
to
Edward
hurt
up?
I believe I do. And he walks over and grabs Edward by the collar and just, you take 1 point of damage.
Nice.
And as per that 1 point of damage, you do awaken. Still quite moist from your dream.
Soiled in your bed.
listen, Truffle.
I scoot the cup
I
under
got
the
some
water.
bad news.
Or under the bed. Under the bed.
Do you
I
do
did
this-
have
do
to
you
pour some
attempt
water
this
on your
deftly?
face
Yes.
just to try to get you up, and then you kind of peed yourself
Yeah,
a little
fine.
bit.
Edward, give me a perception check.
Not one. Oh wait, no, I can't roll lower.
Yeah,
than
No,
that.
yeah, are you
So-
proficient?
So 22.
What are you doing?
You're
So-
proficient in sleight of hand.
Oh, you said sleight of hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still so 22.
17.
You do not notice the cup of water quickly and silently be thrown under your bed.
Scoot.
But,
Scooted
but did I notice that I wet myself?
you.
Oh yeah.
I would hope so.
Unless you're going to tell me that it's like a regular occurrence and you just don't care. I would certainly hope that Edward is
Potty
in
trained.
more self-control than this.
Well, that's not good, and I'll use prestidigitation to get away the wetness of my entire body, because you said I got water poured on me and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better hide that shame.
Oh well, good. I
You
was gonna
take
say you could
just a moment to wave your hands, and it's as if you've showered and dried and powdered and groomed yourself, all in a matter of 6 seconds.
Nice. I was gonna say you should probably wash it while we get breakfast, but now you can just join us.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Why do that when you can be lazy?
Well, I mean, it's magic, brother.
Fuck.
Conveniently, you are still
That's
dressed,
true.
sans your shoes, apparently.
I'll put my shoes on real quick.
Where are his shoes?
I would have put him at
He's
the
still
foot of
wearing
his
'em.
bed.
Oh, I thought you said you took them off so you
No,
could
I
drink
just,
him.
I just
No,
said
it's-
I
it's
would
the-
imagine we would have.
Yeah, but it's the rule that if you fall asleep with if you pass out with your shoes on, you get pranked.
Does that work if you're literally put to sleep?
I seem
Yeah.
to have, audience, I seem to have not had enough sleepovers as a child. And I'm ignorant of this rule.
Anyway,
That was
Give a
more.
thumbs up if you are as well.
That was more of a rule for like parties, not really sleepovers, but yeah.
but yeah,
If
we
people fall asleep, it's a sleepover, ain't it?
we go downstairs and get some breakfast
get-
while we wait on the lady to awaken.
Oh yeah, we still don't know her fucking name.
We are not going to ask her name, brother. We are going to be good boys for the rest of this venture.
What am I supposed to say? Hey, lady.
My
come here.
lady.
But
That
she's
is-
not mine. She's the
she-
princess.
That's titles, brother. It's fancy schmancy
As
politics
you're
stuff.
exiting Edward's room, having this small discussion, Kyle exits his room as well, kind of donning the pauldrons as he's already adjusted his breastplate on the armor he's equipped for the day. And he gives you a noticing nod and joins you as you head down the landing towards the common area.
Good morning, Kyle. Did you finally get some rest?
I got some, yes.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. Are you ready for some breakfast? I could use some coffee and bacon.
I do believe that would be welcomed. However, we do need to have a discussion.
Oh,
As it is imperative that this goes smoothly.
yes.
Now, I believe I heard you mention last night that the idea was that 2 of us would move forward a bit while the other 2 or 3 stayed behind. And
Well, me and my brother Rolo here.
That's me.
Yes, him. This guy.
He-
We're pretty good at scouting out and such, so we figured we could ride a little ahead of you guys, and we could scout the area, make sure there's nothing, waiting in the wings for us to pass by, And-
We're pretty much ninjas.
We'll make sure everything's on the up and up. That way you 3 can stay back with the lady and make sure she has all of her needs taken care of.
Brother, say it right. Stay back with my lady.
Yeah, well, that's when you're addressing her,
No,
brother.
no. That's not. No.
actually, he's right. If you are to address her, it is my lady. Otherwise, it is the lady.
I'm gonna need you to get your facts straight.
I told you this earlier.
No, you did.
This is why me and my brother are going to be ahead, because he does not know the ways of this world, as you would say.
Have either of you been properly reared and
Hey, you stay away from my rear. Alright?
That's not what he means, brother. It's raising.
in the manners of court or...
Well, about that.
We were raised in the art of killing the court.
No, not necessarily.
And anybody else.
Have you ever heard of the Feywild?
I've read the children's stories.
Well, it's real. And me and my
Mind
brother are from there. And we somehow came here 2 years ago. So we have no manner of raising in this plane of existence.
Well, as fantastical as that sounds,
Just wait till you see my ride, mate.
it does bear the question, would you know exactly what to avoid?
Oh, yes.
Well, I can.
Because I need to make this very clear. The lady, she's quite a fan of the peaceful and serene landscapes that Traves has offered so far, and has no problem with traveling these roads, or viewing the forests, or even looking at the sunset as it rises or ends. But she is fickle, and should an ugly sight be present, would you recognize it?
Alfie, you better stay away from her.
Oh, you so funny, brother.
If you don't mind, I will answer that. These two have been here in our plane, if you will, for about 2 years. And we've been together for 2 years, and they have warned us about dangers ahead. I don't see why they wouldn't have do it this time.
Well, I'm not speaking specifically of danger.
You just mean like an ugly ravine or something like that?
Well, we can't fucking change that, but if he's talking about, like,
If
peasants,
you are our
poor
path
people,
risers, I would assume that you could find us another path.
Yes, I can traverse paths like no other. So I can take you on the most aesthetically pleasing path, if that is what you wish.
Okay. That would most likely be a good idea. As he kind of like leans out of the broken window, as he kind of takes that in for a moment and looks at the sky.
Would I have my eggs and bacon and coffee
At this point, I would say that the eggs and bacon. Anyone who has ordered food, put up a silver.
Light a cigarette and
Put up a silver.
begin to eat.
I take one of his cigarettes and then I
my
begin to eat
things.
as well.
Boy, I wish I could just have coffee around all day. Wouldn't that be nice?
I will also light up a cigarette.
I agree.
All right. As you all light up, Kyle kind of leans back for a moment and waves his hand in front of his face.
Sorry, Kyle. I'll blow this way.
Can I use prestidigitation to like wipe that smoke away from him, or no? Is that how that works?
In your personal area, yes.
Or you could just,
It doesn't have a reach?
move your
I
hand.
don't think so. I think it's within 5
Wave it
feet.
away.
I think once you can
No, you
produce
can-
an object,
10,
but once you
10 feet.
10 feet.
10 feet, huh? I thought it was like 30.
No, it's not very far.
Edward uses
Unless
guts.
you have spell snipe. But
That's fair.
I would say you could, but you would have to be constantly doing that as you were constantly producing smoke.
Fair. It's every 6 seconds.
Everybody has to.
I feel like he just has like one of those little small tiny fans, and he's just like.
Yeah, it is.
But Kyle comes back in and he says, "It looks like we're in luck, and the rain seems to have passed. So, hopefully, by the time the lady is risen and up and about, the roads will have dried. Because I don't know if you noticed it in the stable, but she does ride quite the immaculate cream-colored pony.
course
And I
she
do
fucking
not think
does.
she would be very happy to see it muddied."
I do have a technicality question
What
before
would
we
that
start
be?
this. How does she feel about drakes?
Excuse me?
Well, you see,
Like dragons. How does she
Like-
feel about dragons?
like dragons, but like not the big, giant, angry, scary dragons. Like a smaller, like about the size of a horse, a little bit less. But she's friendly.
I do not know how she would feel about something of the such.
Well, the thing about that is,
But, like,
I have a pet.
dragon.
I have a pet dragon named Sheila, and she's my best girl.
You're really stressing my suspension of disbelief.
Would you like me to show her to you?
As he just kind of looks at you quizzitively.
We really don't even have to go anywhere, mate. I could just do it right now.
You'll
He
just
can.
call a dragon.
Do it.
Is there anybody else
Oh yeah,
around?
the
It's
place
full?
is packed.
Okay, is there enough room for Sheila?
Yeah, there's a walking space.
I'm gonna go to the walking space.
Wait.
Can I get everyone's attention,
Oh,
please?
shit.
I am about to do something here, and I need no one to freak out.
the kind of
I'm gonna summon.
the kind of hustle of the common area stops for a moment, and you have a presence, and a handful of people turn and look. Some other people just kind of like cut their eyes up away from their mugs and food.
Have any of you ever seen a friendly dragon?
Wait.
There is a wave of laughter.
We should charge him.
Nah, we're not gonna charge them, brother.
Charge
First
'em.
time's always free.
No.
That's how you get retained customers.
No.
Some dude in the back kind of, hey!
Yes.
Are they considered a customer for not paying?
The second times when they're a customer, brother. Anyway,
That'll be
I
fine.
have a very special occasion for all of you today. I am going to show you all
Shut up!
a dragon. And Sheila will appear right at my side.
Wait, is the stable master there? Did he hear the snap?
You just see some guy outside.
Does that PTSD?
Alfie, with your passive perception, I would say that up on the top landing, kind of like minding his own business, not really paying any heed to anyone downstairs, you do see kind of an older, weathered by the years gentleman, and you do recognize him as the stable master.
That's fantastic.
And as you raise your hand, he's not paying any attention, and you snap, he immediately kind of jerks up. And then he looks down, and he's confused. But yes, you summon Sheila. There's definitely some people who are gonna freak out here.
Yeah,
But
that's
like,
why I'm
give
petting
me
her.
a charisma check
Oh,
with
shit.
Sheila's
Oh,
stats.
With Sheila's stats, it only tells me 2 stats of Sheila's.
I mean,
You
you could
have
just
the
use.
entire character sheet of Sheila.
You could
Do
just
I?
use
Yeah,
his.
she's in the features.
His charisma
No.
0, like it's plus 0.
Yeah, but I think dragons tend to have higher charisma.
Not with this one.
If some randomness comes in through the music, I apologize. I'm on my phone trying to find Alfie's information.
I'm also trying to find Alfie's information.
Everybody
I am
is
not.
Everybody is attempting to find Alfie's information.
No.
We are a supportive play group, Bryn.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Not today.
Rolo still eating bacon.
See, all it says is Dex +1 plus proficiency bonus and Wisdom 2 plus proficiency bonus for saving throws.
D&D Beyond, come here for a moment.
D&D. D&D.
Careful now, Edward. We don't want to get copywritten. As we use, like, the most widely played tabletop RPG system. Classes. Ranger.
Regardless, as I'm doing this, I'm trying to help Sheila in any way I can to soothe the more freaked out patrons of this establishment.
I go over and pet Sheila, and I want to try to rub her belly.
She likes chest scratches.
Yee.
I throw a piece of bacon at Sheila.
She will eat that bacon.
Oh, that is quite weird.
Isn't it?
I found something just the other day where it had like the whole stat spread. Of
It might be
the Great
online
Companion.
somewhere. I don't know.
Just add a plus 0. Straight roll.
She is a silver dragon. I'll give her a +2.
+2. Come on. 16.
16. You summon Sheila and she appears, and like immediately you go into like
Oh, there's my girl.
A
Did you
very-
get some good sleep?
a very friendly, non-threatening. This is a good guy kind of chest nuzzle with the head scratches and like she's wagging her tail, kind of like jittering her wings. It does not stop the immediate people in the vicinity from like jumping out of their chairs and like falling backwards onto tables and all kinds of nonsense. And it is quite the commotion for roughly a minute. As you see Kyle, he kind of tenses and like for a moment you saw him look at Sheila, but then he was immediately looking up at the landing. And then as things kind of settle, as like people are talking and like babbling about what the hell is going on here, nobody like makes any sudden movements. And as things start to quiet down, you see Kyle, he kind of like relaxes for a moment before immediately locking onto Sheila again. And you can tell from the reaction that he's a man of some experience. But you can also just see it in his face. There's an amount of disbelief here. And like a certainty that this has to be some kind of smoke and mirrors nonsense.
You can pet her if you like, Kyle.
He'll stand up.
Sheila bites his hand off.
No, Sheila's a good girl.
And we'll walk over and take a gauntleted hand and just like put it at like the base of her neck.
She will nuzzle.
Huh. Well, this is interesting. And this will be present for the...
Oh, yes, I use her as a way of transportation.
Huh.
Another good reason for me to be ahead and
Well,
ride a little bit. Unless she,
not-
likes dragons, then, she can...
I have to be honest. I've never been in a situation where I had to speak on this behalf. However, I have been with the lady for much of her young life, and I can tell you that she had a loving mother who would tell her all kinds of fantastical stories. It's possible that this may even elate her. However...
I just wanted to bring it to your attention before I just bam, Sheila's here, and then scare the lady and her be upset.
Well, while we're on the subject, I'll put out my cigarette. Do you mind giving us a list of sorts of what to do, what not to do? Because apparently she has a fear of the little E.
It's not so much of a fear as it is a seeming disdain.
I feel like a list of what we can do would be a lot shorter.
You're probably right. Especially given yourselves.
Yeah, glad I'll be ahead.
That's a fair point. I understand where you're coming from. Yeah.
My only issue is
Ah, yes.
I feel like I should be two places at once here. Of course, I feel I should attend the lady, but at the same time, the forward party, I feel like would need guidance.
In what way guidance? Like in a moral sense? Or just if you're worried about me finding the most beautiful path, I can find
implications of something here would not come up.
I can find you the most pristinely gorgeous path you can imagine.
I have the
Don't worry about that.
means of communication to them, and they can relay a message back to me.
Well, that would be quite useful.
And to
Ferdinand's also pretty smart, so he could ride with us up there.
With all due respect, I think if the plan is to proceed as it is, then I would like you two, as he gestures towards Edward and Ferdinand, to stay with me and personally escort the lady. And if you two are to scout ahead,
What are you thinking, like quarter mile?
Half a mile.
A quarter. If anything is to happen, I would need you to be able to return quickly.
Oh, don't worry. Shadow's really fast.
I'll take your word for that. Alright,
Quick question.
that is what we'll do then.
How long you been in this town?
In Lake Lorry,
Yeah.
well, I arrived here with the lady early yesterday, but I've been here several times personally.
Do you know of any herb shops?
Oh yes, if you go towards the piers, there's several buyers and sellers. They host their own little market there.
How far away is that?
Do we have time for something like that?
You could probably get to the piers, judging by how large the city on Lake Lorry was, or town rather. When you approached, you're in a relatively centralized location. You could probably get there in 10, 15 minutes.
All right. I want to go to the herb shop.
Okay, you go.
I mean, well, anyone else wants to come, that's fine.
Yeah,
but-
we should probably stick to the buddy system. I'll go with you.
All right.
Okay. Kyle kind of gives you an adieu, and he does stop you, Alfie, and let you know that if she's not up yet, it'll probably be 1 or 2 hours before she exits her room.
We'll be back in an hour.
Jesus.
All this.
Ferdinand approaches the bar, and he comes back with 2 light ales for you and him, Edward. Kyle goes about his own business and takes a sentinel's position outside of your escort's room. Nope, you're the escorts. I don't know what that's called. Your escortee, I suppose? But Alfie and Rollo, you two head to the pier. Who is heading this search for an herbs shop?
Can we both ride Sheila on the way there?
Only I can ride Sheila, brother.
Why?
It's part of my subclass.
Because she's loyal.
You fall right through it like the Nimbus Cloud in Dragon Ball Z. You're not pretty up heart, brother.
This dragon's loyal.
Unlike Will Smith's wife.
God dang!
I'm sorry, it's topical. I had to.
But
Get wrecked.
Okay.
I could go further.
I guess I just.
Will Smith comes out of nowhere
I
and
don't,
just
I
slaps.
don't think this is the. I don't think this is the platform for this. However,
No.
I guess I just walk. I mean, I don't.
Now Sheila's just walking next to me.
Well, you can't take her back, so.
I know, I can only summon her once a day, so she's here for the ride.
Yep, she's out of that Pokeball.
So yes, this will be just perception, right?
yes.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
help.
you're
I'll
heading
helm
it.
this shit. You wanna give me advantage?
Sure, whatever. I'm the one looking for the shot.
That was an 8. Natural 20.
All right.
We find all of them.
30 total.
Is there anything that Alfie would be just interested in on the side?
I don't know if this would be a thing that I could find, but I would like to purchase a jeweler's kit.
A jeweler's kit.
Right.
Look at
Because I would like to learn how to determine the value of jewels.
All right. As you approach the pier, you suddenly hear on and off mongers and purchasers, bids, barkers, and before you see them, you can smell it, Alfie, and then shortly after you, Rollo, fresh mints, thyme, spices, roasted mushrooms. There's all sorts of things just wafting out of this small market. And following your nose, you do find somebody who's drying herbs. They have already minced and powdered spices and all of that sort, but they do have quite the stocked stand, and it does appear that they are selling herbs and natural ingredients. And with your ears, Alfie, you hear the faint scratches and screeches of like metal on a hard surface like glass or chalk, and looking down the way past some of the moving individuals, you do spot a jeweler. He seems to be inlaying small gems into rings and like holding them up and trying to sell his wares.
Hey, brother, while you buy your herbs and stuff, I'm gonna go down here for a sec. I'll meet you right back in this spot in just like 5 minutes, okay?
Alright, sounds good.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna head over to where I see that.
All right, let's keep with you first, Rolo. You approach this stand. There's a well-kept, middle-aged woman. You see she's got some crow's feet and some laugh lines. She's heavier set and seems to be fairly jovial. Her hair's kept under a squared cap, and she's got she looks to be a religious woman's clothing on.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going fine.
I'm looking for a few things. Do you have the herbs needed to make a paralytic poison?
She kind of cocks her head and a poison.
Paralytic substance?
And then she kind of looks you up and down. She sees the armor, the knives. And she pulls out a small chest and opens it and puts it on the counter without saying anything. And you see there's a handful of coins in it. And
Okay.
she looks at you expectantly.
Oh, she wants me to put some coins in there. Okay. I put 3 gold coins in there?
You toss in 3 gold and she nods and closes it and puts it away. Before she leans in and she says, "Well, yes, I could teach you and show you several examples of things to avoid when foraging in the forests."
I was just looking to buy it.
Shut up. As she kind of rummages through some of these stocked shelves and crates of some of her wares, she pulls out a handful of mushrooms and a few flowers and like a root. And she starts with the mushrooms and she says, "These, when consumed or otherwise exposed to an individual, can cause mild irritation and, if left untreated, will slowly induce a paralytic effect. So if you are to accidentally eat one of these, it is best to procure an antitoxin fairly quickly. But I think you would be more keen to watch out for something like this," and she brings your attention towards the root. This can be commonly mistaken for more of the edible tubers and rhubarbs that grow in the regions. However, if this is consumed or if it finds its way into any balm, you may at first experience nothing, but would find yourself numbed to all senses and within a matter of seconds be lost to your own controls for hours. Now, if you're of the inquisitive type and would like to spread the word of these warnings and safe practices, I would be willing to part with some of these for modest amounts.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell everybody. Be careful.
Good. The roots, for a small amount, would run 4, but if you would like a more economic amount, I can do 20 for a bag.
And these roots, you can apply them to like something and then they got
if they were to be mixed into an ointment or balm, and then you were to spread that, say, over an open wound, then yes, I believe the effects would take place. So do not mistake these for any of the other medicinal herbs you may find in the woods.
Okay. Do you have any extra ointment too?
I have bases and catalysts that can be used to mix medicines.
Wait. You have any oil?
And she kind of like leans over her little shelf and points down the way, and you do see somebody peddling lamps, and then right across from him you see somebody peddling whale, fish, and vegetable oils.
So, hypothetically, if you mix, if I mix the roots with the oil, then that would be the same thing as like an ointment mixed with it, right? Like it'd still work.
Yes.
I'll take it.
All right. How much?
The bag for 20.
Okay. Oh, and I forgot to mention. If it's nothing to do with a loss of function, but should you come across these, and she motions to the flowers. They're kind of blue with purple tinged edges on the petals. Stay well clear of these. If they are consumed or otherwise exposed, as with all of these dangerous substances that you should stay well away from, they can induce excruciating pain and possibly even death. So
how much for those?
She kind of like cringes for a moment.
Can you describe the flower one more time? Blue.
Bluish purple petals that go into a deeper purple tinge around the petals. She's taken aback for a moment before she says, for educational purposes and exemplary use, I would be willing to part with this amount, as she pushes just of what she's pulled out, for 70 gold.
Ooh.
However, I would be remiss in misinforming you. I do have more, as there are many individuals who should be educated.
Like I'll buy the roots for 20 gold, right? Would you accept a trade for the painful flower?
What are you offering?
I pull out this majestic, shiny looking sapphire that I'm just like, I found this. I found this in the bottom of a lake. It was like in some kind of box. I don't know who left it there, but it looks really expensive. And I've had several people say that they wanted it.
Give me a deception check.
I hate that you have good charisma.
Nat 20.
Oh no! This poor lady. This poor religious lady.
Her eye kind of twinkles for a moment before she nods. I believe that would be compensation enough.
I hand her the 20 gold for the roots, and then the
Fake
sapphire.
ass sapphire.
You scumbag.
Yeah.
Well, I could mark off fake sapphire now.
This poor lady.
Let's check back at the tavern for a moment. Edward, what are you and Ferdinand doing while Kyle stays watchful?
While
And I will say at this moment, the morning is in full swing, and some gentlemen have come by and ushered you and Ferdinand away from your seat, pushing the table away, and they're beginning to repair the window.
I will thank Fornad for the drink.
Pardon. Got it. They take up less space. Okay, continue.
I will thank Fornad for the drink. before we leave, Fornad, and as I get up, I believe I have some matters to attend to. I promise I will be back before we have to leave.
He kind of shrugs for a moment and he said, "That's perfectly explanatory. Sure, go off." And just kind of like waves you.
I'll go up to the innkeeper or bartender.
Okay.
What would they call it? Innkeeper, bartender?
I mean, there's both.
Oh.
The barkeeper minds the bar. The innkeeper minds the inn.
I can just go to the bar. Oh, anyway.
Are you looking for services or alcohol?
Knowledge. No. Well, yeah, knowledge. But anyway, I will go to the barkeeper.
Okay.
Was he present during last night?
Oh yeah, he saw all that.
Excuse me, friend.
As he kind of like looks up after polishing the mug, sets it down.
The incident that happened last night. The man.
Oh yeah, that was a riot, wasn't it?
The man that was killed. Do you know his name?
Let me think for a moment. Oh, I can do you one better. And he goes behind a counter for a moment and rummages around. And he pulls out a ledger and flips, and you can see there's chicken scratch writing all over these pages. Much of it is shorthand. You see this is probably his personal record of purchases and customers. Before he comes in and he's like, "Oh, yep, I marked that down, all right." His name was Tony.
Well, I have knowledge that he apparently has a wife in town or a level.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, she may be devastated. Of course, he was kind of a rotten drunk. He was here almost every night.
Yeah. Might be out of line, but would you know where he would have lived at area?
He looks at you. With a little bit of concern behind his eyes. Before he puts the ledger away and says, "Well, no, I don't. And besides, it's unbecoming of a host such as myself to simply give away personal information like that. Also, I don't intend to judge you on your fancies, but, I mean, she is just widowed." Like, literally last night.
Had it been 24 hours.
I don't know that was the angle he was going for.
That's what I would have done.
I believe that.
Shh.
But I'm not there.
He had money and items on his person that probably belongs to her now. It's not much, but figured it should go back to her.
Do you have this money and items?
Yeah, remember he looted the body.
No,
that's the barkeeper. Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
I'll hold out the money purse that had the 15 gold in it.
He kind of like retracts his hand. Well, good sir, I should inform you that had you simply left that to be, I'm sure the bailiffs and powers that be would have taken care of that. There, you understand that there are systems in place for when somebody dies in like a civilized area. Judging from the looks of you, I imagine you're a worldly fellow, so settling down may not be your kind of thing. But generally, if somebody's found dead on a street and they still have their belongings. They're collected and then given to whoever they would go to.
Well, I just happen to be around people who take those items from people.
Can you give me a name? As he kind of pulls out a small notepad.
Did I lead him?
No.
Oh, okay. Why are you looking at me then?
You know why I'm looking at you.
No, I don't. I didn't loot him.
This has nothing to do with being a rogue.
I wish I would have, though.
Anyway, he should already know. We legitimately made a neon sign saying that this guy will steal your shit.
No, you're just a big fat liar.
Oh.
Wait, for who, me?
Yeah. Remember when y'all walked into the Rusty Horseshoe? Oh, damn. I can't remember if that was in the cut.
Oh, I don't know either.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I think it was.
Insert technical difficulties.
But anyway,
He did genuinely ask for a name, though.
Oh. Wolo.
He writes that down. Puts the notepad away.
Get fucked, Tommy.
Well,
That's okay. I can talk my way out of
like
it.
I said, I know that it may seem weird and strange, but
I don't think there's a theme that needs to belong. I think it just is, sir.
fair enough. So,
Anyway, you want a beer? And look, if it's really eating at you that much, you can just leave them here behind the counter. I'll call the guards and get it sorted later. But like, I'm running a business here. Talk takes time, and time ain't cheap, sir.
I'll order another beer and give him the items.
Okay, he kind of like bags them and like throws them under the counter. And you have your beer. Alfie,
Yes.
you approached
The
the
jeweler.
jeweler.
Yes.
Okay. You see this gnomish figure behind a relatively stoutly built stall. You see him, he's got various whetstones, small scrapers, monocles, spyglasses, all sorts of things strewn out in front of him, and you can see very quickly, occasionally, he'll open a strong box and snatch something from it and close it, latch it, and produce it as a small uncut gem and begin working just to like demonstrate to the passerbys. And you've seen him snatch something, and by the time you had approached, he had cut the gem.
Oh, this guy's good. Excuse me, sir.
I
Yes, I am Alfie Windrunner. It is a pleasure to meet you.
very good, very good. Interested in something?
Yes, I am actually curious about learning how to determine the monetary value of gems and the such. I was wondering if you could sell me the basic tools I would need to learn such a thing.
Oh, certainly. I get a lot of people like you. A lot of people nowadays don't want to make sure they're getting the right deal for their purchases. Well, I can start you with a journeyman's kit. Might run you a little bit, and if that's out of your pocket, you may an apprentice's, or if you'd really like to make sure you're getting your best deal, I can sell you one of my personal sets.
How much for the journeyman's kit?
Oh, the journeyman's kit run you maybe 10 gold.
How much for yours?
Ooh, I put a lot of work into my personal supplies. That run around 90.
90. Let's see here. I'm gonna be straight with you, mate. I got 84 gold and 7 silver.
Well, it looks like you might be interested in working something out here.
I would love to work something out.
He just fucking.
Okay.
The only problem with that is I have nothing else to offer you besides maybe petting my pet dragon. And I will turn around.
He kind of like steps up on us as you approach the stand. He was looking up at you from behind it.
Right.
And he like steps onto a small stool and sees that he falls off of the stool.
No. She's very friendly, mate. She's very friendly. She will let you pet her. She will nuzzle into you if you wish. She's a good girl. Isn't that right, gal? And I'll give her some pets and she'll kind of nuzzle up.
He kind of like dusts himself off and composes himself before saying, well, that's that, I suppose. But no. You could do me a small favor.
All right, name it.
All right. Just the other day I was boating out on the lake, and I lost my pocket watch. Now, it's a oddity in today's times, but you know, my father, he was a savant when it came to these kind of things, and he made that for me personally. It's a small thing, and it's probably not worth much. But if you could fetch it from the lake for me, I'd even knock it down to 75.
Well, that would be awesome, but the problem is I'm on a time-sensitive job right now, and I have to leave in like an hour. So, I don't think I could find it in that short amount of time.
Well, then I'm afraid it stands at 90.
Alright. Let's see.
Rolo, what are you doing? You were headed towards the
Well, how much of the painful flour did I get?
the painful flower. With what you purchased, you imagine if you didn't mess anything up, if you bound the compounds correctly, you could maybe make 3 doses. Which, if you were to coat your sheaths, then that would be 3 activations. Or if you were to store it in vials for later uses, that'd be 3 different instances.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I want to go over to the.
As for the roots, you purchased quite a lot, and if
How much was in the bag?
the bag, it was about a 5-pound bag.
So 5-pound bag. Okay. I go over to where she pointed to, and I walk up and I'm just like, "You got any oil for sale here?"
Do you walk to the man peddling lanterns or the man peddling oils? Because I very clearly noted both of them.
Sheet. Lantern. Oil.
All right, as you approach it, it reeks of fish. As you can see, a bulk of his product is extracted fish oils. And you announce yourself and you ask the question. An older gentleman, kind of like gumming his lip, doesn't say anything. He just kind of sucks his tongue before producing a small jug. And he uncorks it and like holds it out for you to take a snifter. But he presents this jug of oil to you.
How much for this?
Well, they'll take 10 gold. As he's kind of like side-eyeing you.
Okay. Here's your 10 gold.
Okay. He pockets the gold and like recorks the jug and hands it to you.
Okay, so jug of oil.
Jug of fish oil. Asterisk.
Asterisk.
Yeah.
Oh God, what's wrong with this?
So I have this staff, right?
Yes, yes.
You might be interested in.
Oh. You know what I'd really be interested in? I'd really be interested in my pocket watch.
Where on the lake did you lose this pocket watch?
Oh, it wasn't too far away, and he kind of points down the shore, about 1,200 feet away, and then like I was maybe 20 feet in. I was just doing a little fishing before something rocked the boat, and whoop, there it goes.
How deep is it right there?
No, well, it's certainly past my head. As you look down at this 2'7" individual.
I'm a pretty wise guy, right?
Yeah.
Would I think that I would have enough time to go over there and possibly find this thing and get back and have us enough time to get back there relatively close to an hour?
You would know that you are fairly skilled at finding items. You would also know that a lake this large is a host to numerous creatures that may be interested in a shiny object, and it could have been moved,
Yeah.
sifted
Someone
out.
say shiny.
Oh, this is perfect. Do I see Rolo?
Looking around thoroughfare for him, yeah, he's a pretty easy guy to see, unless he's trying to hide.
Give me 25 minutes.
Raleigh.
As you exit, you see the transaction. As this kind of old, hunched-over man hands off this jug to your brother and just kind of pockets some gold.
Raleigh, I need you to help me find something shiny.
Shiny?
Yes, shiny.
That's all you had to say. Shiny.
Yes, let's go. Now.
All right. What?
This way. And we're just gonna fucking book it. And go as fast as we can.
All right,
And then-
you get there in just a few moments.
Yep.
Is there anything you and Ferdinand would like to do? As you see Ferdy, he looks up towards the balusters and he sees Kyle, and Kyle just kind of gives him a shrug and shakes his head back towards the door. He goes over there for a moment and listens. He walks back towards and just gives him another shrug.
Would I know if I have to ask permission to start performing in this bar?
Well, unlike the small bar that you have back at your lodge, the layout of this place does not have a dedicated performance spot. There is no stage.
Yeah.
Unlike what y'all have. However, this is a common area, and you do see people. They're playing dice, they're playing cards, and there are a few empty pockets. You have seen traveling troubadours and performers go into taverns and just start, and sometimes they're welcome, sometimes they're not. But judging from your experience, a lot of times when they're not, it's because they suck. So if you perform well, you expect most people wouldn't have a problem with it unless they're simply haters of the art.
Alright.
Alright.
Time for the good old usual then. I'll find, rather open space, where I'm not bumping into anybody or
Yeah.
in anybody's way.
There are a handful of dead spots.
And I will start
Okay, continue.
I will start simple. I will start juggling 5 balls.
Simple. Simple, he says. Start with 5, dog.
Give me performance or sleight of hand.
performance roll. Hey, get backwards.
Wow, you just straight through that.
Yeah, just the wrong way.
22.
22.
Nice.
As you kind of
Very
take
good,
this centered position, a little off left to the bar, you reach behind your tailcoat, you pull out 5 smallish orbs, and you begin to juggle them. Just kind of like humming to yourself. And you see a couple people like give you some attention and they're watching, and like someone like nudges a friend and like points at you. And then there's this older gentleman like a little off to your left, and he goes, "That ain't nothing. My wife can juggle 5 balls too." What else you got?
In her mouth.
Gross.
Whoa, wait. Nobody went there.
I'm not there.
I will.
Not there.
I will drop. Well, not drop, but pocket one of the balls, and it would be replaced by one of the scimitars.
I would assume your scimitar, considering the other 5 are on Tulip.
That's the fair point.
Or did you just walk into this bar with 6
6
scimitars?
scimitars.
We'll keep it realistic. 2.
I would like to.
My
believe
scimitar
6.
and another pop scimitar.
So just like yours, and then like one on the hip.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can let that slide. You kind of cut your eyes at him and grin as you continue juggling, and you speed up for a moment, and just deftly you swap out one of the balls. You take it from the rotation, and like with one finger around the quillion, unsheath the scimitar and twirl it into the air, and it's in the rotation now. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand.
Or performance.
Performance. 23.
23.
Yeah.
Just as I described, with almost no motion on the offhand, it looks like it was just one fell swoop. The sword is in there, and it's taking a wider arc, doing twirls as you juggle it with these other 4 balls. And a few people give you applause. You see a few copper get flicked your way before the old man pipes up again. He goes, "Yeah, she can swallow swords too."
In her
How
mouth.
early is this guy's like wasted at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Joke's on you. He never stopped from last
Yeah,
night.
I guess not.
Give me an insight check.
I will do a quick reply. You might have. I'm assuming you I'm assuming you have a mighty Excalibur attached to you, huh?
Bigger than you know.
What a creepy old man.
Pretty sure it's like the smallest thing I've ever seen.
Insight.
Yeah,
That'd been 8, so.
an 8.
Ugh.
I mean, you can smell the alcohol on him. Like, he's definitely drunk, but like, maybe you're just not impressive enough.
You need to be better.
Get better.
Let me look at something.
You would see Ferdinand cut his eyes at you and then look up as Kyle has kind of taken a 5 o'clock position to keep eyes on you and like the general vibe of the group while still being within earshot and within eyeline of the door that you assume the lady is behind.
It's a real tragedy. There's no such thing as antidepressants in this town because Kyle should really use some.
I will.
Kyle needs a blunt. I don't know what you're
Yeah,
talking
you
about.
need something.
He doesn't need antidepressants.
I will. Take another ball down and throw my other scimitar up.
All right.
And don't know if I can do this, but says a shower sparks. Puff wind. Precipitation. Could I make like a cool little neon effect with the balls and sword?
Like make them glow?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
You would have to make them glow one at a time.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm pretty sure you can have up to 5 prestidigitations active at one time.
Yeah. Okay.
So you could do it. It's just like one of them will start glowing, and then another one will start glowing.
Kind of
And
like
then
Just
a,
adds to the effect.
Yeah.
Just building intensity.
yeah, kind of like a light show.
Okay. Well, does prestidigitation have somatic components? Does it have an S in it? No, just
I don't think so.
Yes, S, B and S.
okay. So you will have to use your hands.
Oh.
I will need you to give me a performance or sleight of hand check to get the second scimitar in there.
I was thinking materials. I was like, I've never seen anyone use materials on prestidigitation.
Materials.
Nat 20.
Okay. Without
Baby.
issue, another ball vanishes and the scimitar comes in.
What's that total?
32.
And you begin.
He started his own circus.
And now, instead of juggling them in unison, it's like you're juggling the scimitars and the balls simultaneously. Like, one of them you're hooking the scimitars and trading them in and out with one hand while juggling the balls with the other. And then you try to work in the prestidigitation. And this is just going to be sleight of hand. So, give me one of those.
Got this, Eddie.
This is how deftly you can move your fingers. There's no performance in this.
Yeah. 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That ain't bad at all.
You make it look like a show as you're swapping in and out which hand is juggling which. In the transitions, you're weaving the components for prestidigitation. And as you catch, touch, and toss one of the balls, it begins to glow, and so on until all 4 of them, 3 of them at this point,
Oh, the balls.
are glowing. Do you do the same with the scimitars?
Yeah, but like we're discussing, like just like on and off, kind of like a light show. You know what I mean?
Oh, like strobing?
Yeah.
So you're keeping the prestidigitations
Some
going.
poor epileptic fool in the back. Just fall over.
The claps grow in intensity, and like there are a few cheers, and like now the coins are coming more regularly. And you do see Ferdinand, he's watching you, and he's checking on Kyle, and he's watching you. And eventually he looks a little concerned as he kind of like stands up from his seat and starts to approach, but veers right. And as you see him veer right, you kind of like follow his trajectory, and there is a dude who like for a moment was like really hyped. You saw him in the background. He's into it, and he takes a swig, and he starts to choke. And then, like, he starts to froth in the mouth.
Ferdy to the rescue.
And Ferdinand's just gonna, like, go over there and, like, get him sorted.
It's gonna burp him.
For the finale, I will.
That wasn't it.
Nope.
It never stops.
I will.
I was talking about the guy choking.
Saying it never stops.
Once to stop, all the juggling, grab both the scimitars, 2 balls, and for the final, grab the final ball with my mouth, as they all come down.
Oh, like 2 balls fall on the swords? And
I
then
think
one
he
in
meant,
your
like,
mouth?
catch the scimitars in his pinkies and then
Oh.
rip the balls.
Yeah, and the final ball
okay.
in my mouth.
Okay.
Give me a performance check.
Can't believe we're missing all this.
I know.
Yeah, 22.
Okay.
Not the best, but
The glow intensifies as you pick up the pace and you heighten the arc at which you're juggling these instruments before eventually, in an arc, you throw them all up and then flourish your hands, snatching the scimitars out of the air and allowing 2 of the balls to be caught. You look up and like the cheers are peaking, and just you snatch it out of the air with your teeth, and you like give a smolder to the crowd, and everybody's cheering except for one. The old man kind of like bangs his mug on the table, and he goes, yeah, she uses her mouth too.
She's that asshole.
I will sheath the swords and
As you hear the clinks and tings of coins hitting the boards around you.
put the balls up and do a quick bow.
All right.
And start, picking up the coins and stuff.
You give a bow and you hear the applause. And as you start to pick up the coins, you gather about 5 gold.
Nice.
Mostly copper, though. Like, you have plenty of change.
Yeah.
But all in all, it averages about 5 gold.
Nice.
There are some silvers thrown in there, otherwise you'd literally be buried in copper. But then as you kind of come back to your feet, you see Ferdinand. And his eyes are like kind of shocked as he's looking up at Kyle. And he's watching and he's applauding. You can hear the clank of his gauntlets together. And then beside him, you see a shorter female, pale skin, kind of ashen white hair, with a kind of belled out dress and furls at the shoulders, and like she was watching, and she's got a modest grin on her face, and she begins to clap. It's quiet, but it is enough to catch Kyle's attention. And like
Probably has a freaking aneurysm.
the final clap, his hands immediately stay together, and you see his face just kind of harden. And like, for a moment, you think you've seen these expressions before. These are normally the expressions people make before they die. And you can picture it in your head, just him falling over the banister, but he just goes dead still.
So
As she finishes clapping and begins to walk down the bar,
So
or
can I-
down the landing.
So can I assume that she liked it?
Yeah, she clapped. She
Great.
smiled about it.
Grinned a little bit.
But as she begins to walk away, Kyle finally moves, and he's following about 5 feet behind her.
So what we're about to
You
do
can
is
see
happening
the casualness.
Huh?
The casualness of Kyle has just vanished. He's now walking like chest forward, shoulders broad, one hand on his sword at his hip, and then the other is like at the ready. But he's walking in stride, and as they approach, we'll come back to you and
DM question real
Rolo,
quick. Is this
Alfie.
happening before his performance?
Yes.
Like, okay, good.
Okay.
We have a little time.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. So as we're just full booking it, I'm just
There were a lot of checks involved.
Okay,
There. It would have
gotcha.
made sense to break it up.
Like, I'm assuming the
So-
performance was about, what, 15, 20 minutes maybe?
Yeah.
All right. So as we're running full sprint towards this lake, I'm just gonna be like, all right, Raleigh, we're looking for a pocket watch. It's apparently kind of shiny. It's about 20 feet out. As soon as we hit the water, are you ready for maneuver dolphin?
Yes.
All right, let's
Dolphin
go.
it up.
We're
So,
gonna run.
I run and I go running at Alfie.
So I'm gonna get ahead of him, and I have a higher movement speed. So I'm just gonna get ahead of him. I'm gonna stop right at like inside the water, like about ankle deep. You know.
I have to ask.
I'm gonna get down on a knee.
I have to ask.
Yes.
What position does Sheila fill in maneuver dolphin?
She just watches.
Yes, she watches
Just
from
watches.
outside. She doesn't like water, Sheila. Doesn't like rain, doesn't like lakes, doesn't like oceans. So anyway, I'm gonna kneel down, my brother Rolo's gonna run up, and I'm gonna boost him high into the air.
And I'm gonna jump, do a triple spin, and dive in the water.
And then I will slowly,
How far out did you run?
about ankle shin deep.
Okay.
Doink. I jump really far.
I believe your jump distance is 15 feet.
What with my help though? I'm like,
That's height.
Well, no, he's
yeah,
kind
but
of
I'm
at an angle.
yeah.
I'll be generous.
I'm
and give you
launching
20.
him,
Okay, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
so he should be right where the thing is.
Yeah,
He should
20
be able to
20
dive right
feet
down and be right there.
How tall are you, Rolo?
We're both
6'1"?
6'2". Oh no, I
Six-
thought we 6'1" or 6'2".
I don't know. I don't remember.
6 foot though.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're both 6'1".
You pull off this. Give me a group dexterity check if you'd like.
Just straight dex.
Yeah, with proficiency. We'll call
So-
it acrobatics.
Okay.
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics check.
7.
24.
Luckily, you're not filling too much of a role here, Alfie. You're just
Good
kind of
thing.
springboarding your brother. And springboard him you do. As he gets the distance, you see him soar through the air before going
beautiful.
into like a corkscrew spin as he hurtles towards the surface of the water. You see him break the surface and there's...
Before I break, I want to yell, "Shinies, here I come!"
And then he knows to wait for me because I have to tread through the water to get to him after I launch him.
You see him break the surface of the water and it's like a perfect Olympic dive. There's almost no disturbance as he plummets through this water, and you see 5 feet of him vanish underneath. And Rolo, the last thing you see before being submerged neck deep in silt and mud is just the very quickly approaching bottom of this lake.
So is my feet just hanging out of the water?
Your feet start kicking as you're you're poised to start swimming.
Oh shit! I'm coming for you, Ollie.
You take 10 points of bludgeoning damage. That's a spinal injury if I've seen one.
Nice.
What the fuck was this asshole on a boat?
I'm going.
In water.
2 feet tall!
Oh, I didn't.
I didn't calculate that into my calculations, brother. I'm gonna run and I'm gonna grab him by his feet and pull him out of the sand.
The downside of 9 intelligence.
It's easy enough to do. You reach him with your full movement speed. You could get there, even counting this as rough terrain. You grab him by the belt and his leg, and you kind of pop his head out of the silt, and you see the mud and silt just kind of disperse over the area.
Oh, that's gonna make this difficult, brother.
Lake Lori, as you've been able to tell since you've been here, is generally very calm. The wind has to pick up quite drastically to affect it very much, since surrounding it, the banks are fairly high. So much of the banks are settled. And now you have disturbed that.
Well, this is just a minor setback, brother. So we're looking for.
As you set Rolo up, you can see his eyes are kind of dazed, and after he brushes his face and the water comes off, and then it starts to run out of his hair and wets his face again, and followed by blood.
You're gonna be fine, brother.
We need to call that Operation Water Ostrich from here on out.
Yeah, we might have to change it.
But my head.
So we're looking for a pocket watch.
Yeah,
It should be in this area somewhere, but we've disturbed the water, so we're gonna have to use our hands as well as our eyes. And just
Okay.
feel around. Just try not to disturb any of the water on the bottom any more than we already have.
So you want to do separate checks now?
We can do separate
Since we're feeling, that would be perception.
Now,
yeah, it would be.
I will say
It would be perception.
this will
right?
be perception. Perception or investigation, your choice since you're searching intently. But also, this check would be made at disadvantage individually, or if you would like to help somebody, it will be straight.
What do you think, brother?
If you just help me look for it, I think I can find it.
Yeah, I mean, you got this, Alfie. You can do it.
Yeah, just, I need you.
By help, I meant moral support.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make too much sense.
Alfie, he's on me. So it's a straight roll.
Straight row. You got this.
22.
A 22.
22.
It takes you about 10 minutes of like very slowly sinking your hands into this silt and like seething it, and you continue that almost like
It's a shell.
almost like a mole going through the ground. You hit something,
Oh, what's this?
and it wriggles
Give
in
me
your hand. It wriggles in your hand,
Oh,
like
no,
it's
that's alive.
An eel just kind of slithers away,
Shit.
and then your other hand catches something.
Oh.
You
Brother,
pull it
give me
up,
your hand.
and it's a clam, and you let it go, and it kind of loops itself away.
This is for you.
What the fuck am I gonna do with the clam?
I don't know, I thought it was a pocket watch, but it wasn't.
I mean, it's a
I'm gonna
pocket.
go back in.
I mean, it kind of looks like one.
You
pop
give it
open.
one more good sieve, getting close to where you would assume, like, if nothing messed with it, if it was just beholden to the wills of the water, maybe it would be around here. You give it one more good brush over, and your fingers get tangled in something, feels metallic, and then a weight gets pulled behind it,
Oh, we've got money, brother.
and you pull your hand up, and on a nice bronze chain, interspersed with little bits of algae, is a very fine bronze pocket watch.
Oh, I found it, brother. Fuck yeah. I'm gonna wash it off in the lake a little bit and get
Wash
it
it off.
get it all nice and we gotta herd
Yeah,
back.
I mean, it's been in the water the whole time anyway.
But it was all muddy.
So
gonna
I
run
start,
back.
I start to head back, and I turn around, and I take that clam, and I chuck it like a skipping rock.
Just roll an attack.
They're going to turn the pocket watch. He's going to be like, that's the wrong one.
That would be upsetting.
Do I add anything? Like,
Yeah, and it's an improvised weapon which you don't have proficiency in. So just add
Okay.
either your dex or your strength to your choice.
dude, fucking ain't strength. 18.
18.
You killed this clam.
It went across the whole fucking lake.
You stand up and you see Alfie start to like water jog out of the lake, and you look at the clam for a moment. You're like, eh? And you just like sidearm this poor innocent animal towards the surface of the water, and it hits and it skips and it hits again. And it breaks in two, and one half of it starts skipping one way, and the other half starts skipping the other way.
Oh shit, brother, you just fucked that clam's day up.
Oh my god, I can fly!
And we'll just run back.
I turn to Alfie like, start Operation Beach Whale.
You make your way back to the jeweler. You see he set that gem that he worked on into a beautiful silver band. And the way he then set it, it looks like two claws coming up on either side. The claws are slightly reminiscent of Sheila's paws. And you imagine he's probably pulled some inspiration from that encounter.
Cool.
Get royalties.
As you approach, trailing lake water behind you, you stop at the stand and you pull up the pocket watch.
Hey, I think, is this what you're looking for, bud?
I didn't realize he stopped and I hit him.
Oh, shit. Watch where you're going, brother.
Don't
Full-
stop in the middle of nowhere.
Pelvis to the ass action as he just like runs into you. You shake the stand a little bit with the impact and you hear several tings.
Damn it, brother. Watch where you're going.
Rolo,
You heard the brake lights?
Rolo. Dispersed on the table of this stand are several very shiny and well-made pieces of jewelry and like
this?
Shiny.
and a few cut gems. And behind him you see a locked strong box, strong metal band.
Quick,
I'm sorry, I gotta give him the feed.
Is this in a tent?
It's not a tent, it's a stand.
It's a stand.
Yeah,
So there's nothing behind him.
no. Well, there's a building about 15 feet back.
Now, I just want to point out, Rob, this is your brother.
But,
So while he's talking, I want to sneak around the stand to the back.
Explain to me how you sneak around the stand.
Okay, so I hit him and I'm like, oh, sorry, brother, sorry. I noticed everything and I'm like, oh. And I'm just like, I forgot something at the oil place. I'll be right back. So I start to walk away and then I just stealth around the stand in between.
Give me a stealth check. But yes, Alfie, you produce the pocket watch, and he perks up and he gets a smile on his face and he says, oh, yes, that's it indeed. And I believe that's a deal done, and a deal should be honored. So, and he turns around for a moment, just missing Rolo, kind of like fade into the crowd.
24.
Sweat, just a bead drips down my brow.
He wouldn't
How
be
much-
able
what'd
to
you get?
tell with all
24.
of
Okay, I see him.
he wouldn't be able to tell with all of the lake water running out of your hair. But you see out of the corner of your eye Rolo disappear into the crowd as he turns around, and as he turns back, Rolo appears out of the crowd. And he presents to you a rolled leather pouch, and he unfurls it, and you can see there's a spyglass, a monocular, several different cutting tools, a few whetstones, rags, a small vial with a clear kind of viscous liquid inside it, a few small knives, and a dismantled but well-made scale. And each one of these implements looks immaculately well made and kept. And he starts to explain. He gives you the skinny of each of the tools, and he pretty much tells you that anything up to like 10 grand would be able to be appraised with a set like this.
Nice.
Are you proficient in jeweler's tools?
I'm not.
You're
So
not.
I was gonna ask you what I would need to do to become proficient in that.
Practice.
Well, I have a way that it's gonna happen soon.
Sure.
Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
While this is happening, I take the strong box.
But yes. Run that by you
God.
one more time.
Why?
While he's talking to him, the strong box is behind him, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I take it and put it in the bag of holding. Wait, how big is this bug? I was thinking like a chest type thing.
It is chest shaped, but it's about a foot in length and maybe 7 inches tall. So it's a sizable chest. It would fit in the mouth of the bag of holding.
I take it. I attempt to take it.
What is your strength?
Ah, shit! I gotta have strength. It's a
0.
Are you asking what the plus is or what the actual strength is?
I'm asking what the plus is.
Oh, that's a 0.
Okay, good to know.
Oh shit.
First, give me a strength check to see if you can pick it up.
Come on, that 20. Come on, that 20.
Don't forget you have had a long rest, so your luck points exist.
Nat 20.
Oh my god, why? No! Take a picture of that.
You get your fingers underneath it,
Oh,
and you
fuck
go to
me.
lift. And at first, it kind of brings you to it, and you realize, oh, this is pretty hefty. So you put one foot forward, and you remember, lift with your legs, and you pick it up, and you kind of get your other arm under it while you're cradling it. I need a sleight of hand check to see if you can keep it from rattling as you turn it on its side and try to feed it into this bag of holding. And Alfie,
Yes.
you see all of this happen.
Yes, I am
It's
well aware.
Nat
literally-
20.
Take a fucking picture! It's another fucking Nat 20! No! No!
The master thief at it again.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. Yes, so this right here
You watch as you're
is
kind
how
of
you
like
put the scale together.
you,
I
you
see.
it, you see all this going on, and you're like, "Don't turn around, please, don't turn around." So you try to keep him talking,
Yeah. So you put this part right here, you
but you
said.
see, this guy he's pretty quick-tongued, and he explains it all very deftly. And he's like, "And that's that, and it's all yours now, and I'll just take the gold." And he rolls it up.
75, right?
80. And he
I
rolls
thought you
it
said
up.
75 if I got you the pocket watch.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He pauses for a moment and he says, "Oh right, that's it."
I'll give you 80 if you can,
And as he's rolling it, you see his elbow knock something. And you see that little ring that he was working on kind of fall off the side.
I'll try to catch it for him. Can I? Or is
Are
it
you
not
sure?
at an angle?
You could definitely reach it. You're
I would
much
just be like,
larger.
oh, let me get that. Kind of like that.
Give me a dexterity check. But as you see it roll off, he notices it and he kind of like goes around the stand to go after it himself.
Just Dex.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an 8, sir.
You go to catch it and your finger just grazes the ring and you kind of push it further along.
Damn it.
As it hits the stones and like gets lost in a little bit of grass, he kind of bends down and he says, "Oh."
Oh, sorry about that,
And
mate.
he's on his knees in the grass as you watch Rollo, who's kind of been holding this chest dead still for a moment. And as soon as like this guy starts to move down onto his knees, and he like tightens the bag,
And he's gone.
and then back into the crowd.
And then I come back around and I pull out the jug of fish oil. I'm like, I got it! I got it!
You come back just as he finds the ring, and he.
And be like, oh, I'm sorry about that, mate. But listen, I'll give you the 80 if you can show me with this, and I'll pull out the diamond. Show me how to appraise it just so I know what I'm doing for future reference.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll take 80 off.
Yeah, he unfolds the kit again just so you know what your tools exactly can do.
Right.
And he explains that type in locked strongbox. Just locked strongbox.
Okay, I was gonna get the dimensions, but okay, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I forgot
that's
what you
right.
said.
It's pretty big. About 1.5 feet by 7 inches
Okay,
by, we'll say by another 5 inches. So it's 5 inches wide, a foot deep, 7 inches or a foot long, and 7 inches tall. So it's taken up a sizable bit of space in your bag of holding, but nothing dire.
For now, till we break into that sucker.
He takes the small diamond from you, and he's like, "Don't be alarmed, but you do kind of need to mar it slightly." And he pulls out one of the whetstones and drags the diamond across it, and you see it doesn't touch this whetstone. He kind of shrugs, and he's like, "Oh, you might have something here." And he pulls out one of the other ones and drags it, and you can see just a faint glitter left behind. And he's like, okay, so that's a very good start. And then we'll place this here.
And I'll be taking notes of how he's doing this. as
He
he's
pulls
doing
out
it.
the spyglass and kind of examines the whetstone, and he takes note of how granular this trail left behind is. And he's explaining this to you as he goes, and then he puts the spyglass down and pulls out the small vial of clear liquid and the monocular. And he dips a little bit of the liquid onto the whetstone, recorks it, puts it away, and pulls out a cotton swab. As he's looking through the monocular, he dips the swab into the liquid and drags it across one section of the drag line. And as you do, you see that section of the line kind of persist for a moment, and then you can see him nodding and like counting the seconds before that drag line is dissolved. And he goes, the longer it stays, the more carats,
Right.
the harder it is to scratch, the more compact the structure of the jewel, and blah 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 blah. I'm not a jeweler, by the way.
Yeah, yada yada yada. I
Yada,
know the
yada
basics
all the
of
way.
how
He
to.
gives you the basics.
Yeah. All right. Well, I very much appreciate
The whole
this, sir.
process for him explaining it to you took about 3 minutes.
Okay. Here's your 80 gold. I will roll up the thing. Take this. I'm actually late for a previous engagement, so I'll have to bid you a good day. It was very nice doing business with you, sir.
He takes the
I'll
patch of
see
80
you
gold and
again.
he like slides a drawer on his stand and puts it there, and as he does, you can hear it make the impact and cause some more jingles.
He's
and
doing well.
He slides it back, and you see he picks up the ring and he begins to polish it, get the little scratches that the stones caused off, and
Yeah.
make it look pretty. And he bids you adieu, and you bid him adieu, and you and Rollo get the fuck away.
Yep. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come
You
on,
get it?
Sheila.
You get about 2 full movements away before you just hear a screech.
Action dash, brother. Action dash.
I stealth in the crowd.
You're so far gone at this point. His little legs would not be able to catch you regardless.
That's fair.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's tiny. How did he move that fucking lockbox?
He's a strong boy.
But,
Obviously, I am too.
You make your way back to the inn.
Yes.
Okay.
And how much time do we have after arriving to the inn before we?
Probably not a lot.
Yeah, you're arriving just as Alfie or Edward is wrapping up.
Just in time.
So like,
so do I see her whenever I
you hear the
enter?
applause as you're pushing the doors open, and you see Ferdinand look at Kyle, and they're both dead for a moment before you hear very light claps and footfalls on the landing. You can't see her at this very moment. However, you throw the doors open and you see Edward give his bow, and you lock eyes with him. He locks eyes with Ferdinand. They both lock eyes with y'all. And then Ferdinand gets this look of panic on his face as you look at each other and realize you just spent 15 minutes diving in a lake and are covered in water and mud.
I'm gonna look over at him and be like,
I do a quick.
Flash hands, flash hands.
I do a quick presentation.
You rush over there through the crowd and you rushing through, you kind of hip check the old man.
yes.
And
That's what he deserves.
You don't know.
as you do, he spills his beer and it goes right onto your crotch.
I presentation myself.
You see Edward do the poop hop as he's headed toward you as he's prestidigitationing himself.
Nice.
And then he gets to you and he starts wave his hand from head to toe, and it's like going through the whale wash. Where you very quickly you're scrubbed down and floofed, and then you straighten your hair and you all just kind of straighten up nothing is wrong. Nothing's wrong. It's all
Look, brother,
fine.
I'm shiny.
Has she come down?
As
the
soon as
steps?
it finishes, Edward puts his hands on both of your shoulders, and you all turn around, and she's approaching the very last step. She's entered the common area, and Kyle is right behind
We
her.
will meet with Ferdinand. We will meet at
Ferdinand stood up, and he approached, leading the 3 of you. And as soon as you all get squared up, he puts 1 foot forward and gives a proper courtesy.
I will follow him because I know he knows what to do in this situation. So I will
Okay.
try to mimic what he does. Just good day, my lady.
So you give a courtesy, Rolo.
I strut up like I own the place.
Oh God.
I look her dead in the eyes.
Oh God.
And I kindly bow to her.
You can see with every step, Kyle's hand got closer and
I will strike you down.
before you give a rough but seemingly polite bow. Edward,
I will also do a bow.
right? You give a bow. The 3 of you make your greetings, and you glance up and you can see her gesture her hand to give you a rise.
Straighten myself, and then look to Kyle, and then kind of
She also looks to Kyle and
gesture back where Sheila
Wordlessly.
is, and just
I was just to ask, did you leave Sheila at the lake?
nope. She's right behind us. Actually,
at the door?
Kinda
Or
at the door.
okay.
She's guarding the door.
She's waiting for us to
She's the
leave.
new bouncer.
The lady, she also looks at Kyle and kind of gives him a gesture, and he takes the lead and, like a pseudo march, progresses towards the door, and he catches your eyes, and then he looks at the door, and he sees Sheila just kind of
Just sitting there like
just
a dog,
peeking
that's,
out, peeking
just
around the
waiting for
corner on the
owner.
fly. But he stops for a moment, and he turns around with a big, warm smile on his face, and he says, "My lady, I think we have something fantastic to show you. Please don't be alarmed. It's quite wonderful, really.
Happy
This
birthday,
way, please.
Excalibur.
This way." And he ushers her towards the door, and he's like looking at you, and then looking at the door, and then looking at
Do
you.
I get do I need to roll like an insight to get the feel that do I need to like take over this and be like introduce, or is he the one that needs to introduce?
You get the feeling that Kyle is leading here, but he's looking at you, and you get the vibe, whatever you can do to make this thing seem approachable.
Okay.
Do it.
So me and Sheila have more of not so much a telepathic bond, but like an emotional
An empathic
connection, right? So I'm gonna like prepare myself and herself to just be like, she's like the happiest, friendliest dog you could ever possibly imagine. Like not excessive and hyper, but just like super happy, just tail wagging, just sitting there being a good girl, and she'll like accept pets.
Now,
and-
Sheila is in the form of a silver dragon,
Yes.
correct? Alright. Kyle kind of ushers her towards the door, and you make this connection with Sheila, and Sheila kind of takes a step back and hides herself behind the door frame. And Kyle reaches it, and he puts one hand to like brace her, and then opens the door, and you can see Sheila is lying down on all fours, kind of like with her head down, her wings kept in. And as the door opens, she raises her head and she looks super approachable.
Yes.
As the tail whips, her wings frill out and she stands, showing her full scope
Just give it a little
before
stretch.
coming back in and like sitting proper and looking at the lady and like dipping her head and bringing it back up.
This
And you
is
can
Sheila.
see both of them are like, Kyle is a very composed individual. But you can see the place where his helmet meets his breastplate, there's no chain coif, right? You can just see like rivers of sweat running down his neck. Before the lady brings both of her hands to her mouth and like takes a step forward and puts a hand out. And like just wordlessly is like rubbing the top of Sheila's head. And from the back, you can't really tell the expression she's making. What would you three like to do? As Ferdinand begins to step forward.
I will kind of step to the side and try to get an angle to where I can tell how she's feeling.
You take a step to the side and you see her eyes are wide. Make me an insight check.
I'd like to go get Shadow.
You take your leave and head toward the stables.
Yeah, because we're on a time schedule.
That is true. This was supposed to be a quick episode. I'm narrating too
Natural
much.
20.
Nice.
26.
As you begin to leave, Kyle kind of catches you by the shoulders and hands you 4 gold. And he tells you to tell them to ready all of our horses.
I got you.
And he allows you to take your leave. You, Alfie, as you step around and you can finally see this lady's face, as I mentioned before, she's of a fair complexion, kind of ash gray, moving on silver hair. Very well kept, well put together, very proper. Her makeup, she's got like just the right amount of blush to where you can almost tell that you almost can't tell that it's not natural. And her lips are made up very beautifully. She paints a very noble, prestigious, and pretty picture. And as you kind of get this view, you see she still has her hand at her mouth, and you can see between her fingers her jaw is agape. And just there's so much sparkle in her eyes. You can tell that this is like a fairy tale come true. She loves Sheila.
Good. My lady, this is Sheila. This is my pet dragon. She's a very good girl, but I just wanted to introduce you before we headed off.
You kind of speak these words, and she recomposes herself and like puts her hand down. She puts her hands down and like straightens herself and clears her throat. And she's, yes. Well, that's quite amazing. But we have places to be.
Yes, we are getting the horses prepared now. As soon as we get to the stable, they should be ready to go.
Alfie, you watched Rolo get like a 30-foot distance and then just
Action dash.
Dash.
Bonus action dash.
just gone towards the stable.
So,
You will arrive there well before they do, so just be thinking about what you've done. As the three of you that are left and Kyle kind of take flanks on her and like not oppressively
Right.
like Secret Service usher her through the streets. You allow her to take the first step, and Kyle kind of like is cutting his eyes at the three of you, and like she takes the first step, and y'all all walk in unison.
I'll just keep an eye on the surroundings.
Kyle is very straight-backed, upright, walking with as much I am important. This person is very important. As much as he can muster.
I'll try to mimic that as well as I can.
Sheila is walking with you, correct?
Yes, she's walking at my side.
At your side?
Yes.
Okay. And
Unless the lady wants...
She doesn't say anything, but you do see occasionally, like, as you're walking, she'll, like, cut her eyes and her head towards
If I see her
Sheila.
do that a few times, I'll be like, my lady, you may ride her if you wish.
I could never. And she just kind of keeps walking, and you can see a little bit of like actual blush come through.
After that, the offer's always on the table, man.
Wow. His own. He lied to his own brother.
Wait a minute.
You're not there.
What?
You don't know.
I missed
Because
something.
I told him if he tried to ride her, he would just fall right through her.
But
Me being such a trustworthy fellow, I believed you.
as you were going at her pace, you're going a bit slower than you normally would. By the time you reach sight of the gates, it's almost 2 in the afternoon. And having made the journey to Lake Lowry, you know that you're not going to make it all the way to Gowrie by nightfall.
Okay.
And like this kind of dawns on Kyle. And he says, "My lady, one moment." And he looks at Ferdinand, and you can see them exchange a few words, and he sends Ferdinand off. And then he kind of like reconfigures the group to where like he's leading, but like canter to her.
Okay.
So he can keep her in sight, and you and Edward are now at the rear.
Yeah.
You approach the gates. Rolo, what have you been doing?
Alright. So I approached the stables, right?
Yeah.
Sneakily.
Okay. You approach the stable sneakily. Give me a stealth check.
Okay, will do.
And I would say now that it's not raining and it's not dark, you see very clearly all of the horses lined in there.
31.
This is a large stable, and you can see it's probably made to cater to any horse rider that approaches Lake Lowry. And at the moment, there's maybe 15 steeds in this stable. Many of them are like your Apache, your Chestnut, your standard horses. A few of them do stick out. Your pitch black Mustang, for one.
Pitch white Mustang.
Same difference.
No, it's not really.
You're gonna name your horse Shadow and expect me not to get thrown off every now and then.
Yes.
You see your Mustang, and then like towards the rear of the stable, in like a larger quarter, there is a very well kept mane and tail braided with tabards on its barding, and its bit and bridle are like lace with gold trim. A very, very pretty cream-colored pony. A little smaller than your average riding horse, but it
Of course
seems
it is.
stocky. You also see Tulip, who you've been around many times. And, shit, Cody's gonna hate me. I forgot the name of his horse.
I did too, actually. He didn't say it very much.
But anyway, you see Ferdinand's horse as well.
I'm looking for the stable master.
Oh, he's there. He's in a little rocking chair going back and forth.
So I want to creep up behind him, and kind of like you see in those cartoons where you just see like the person's head just peering up behind them. I was gonna be like, "What you doing?"
As you attempt to startle this man, what you doing? And then like, you're answered with a.
Jesus, this guy can sleep through anything. Can you wake up?
As you kind of like tap him on the head, he kind of.
Really? That wakes you up? Okay. So you know that the lady with the cream colored horse, pony, whatever, the little small mini horse.
He kind of like points at it.
All right, I need that readied with the and the horse of the other gentleman that came with her.
Got it.
And need to get Tulip readied and
Who?
Shit. The 3 horses that came with me
Yeah.
and my horse.
Oh, okay. 3 horses?
Shit. Well, including mine. 3.
Oh. Right. And he kind of like rubs the sleep out of his face before standing up and then holding out his hand.
I already paid you. Paid you last night.
Ready your own damn horse then.
Ah, fuck. Alright, I give him 2 gold.
2 gold? Okay. He pockets it. He doesn't say anything else. But then the rest of the troop is approaching. They see Rolo out at the stables, and he's got the reins of Tulip and Shadow and Cody's horse, and then standing patiently, as if waiting to be appraised.
Actually, I want to be leaning up against the stables, right? And I want to be making fruit art with an apple. I'm gonna make a rose with my dagger.
What the fuck kind of check would that be? I'll say performance or sleight of hand, your choice.
Okay, cool beans.
But as the 3 of you and your escortee is approaching, you're rejoined by Ferdinand, who had gone through like in a wide arch, and you see he's purchased a few things. You can see a bundle underneath his arm, and you can see 2 gentlemen following him. He tells you that we're obviously not going to make it anywhere today, but we can't afford for this to be unpleasant. So I've arranged for a carriage, and I've had some resources stocked. We should be able to make a very livable space. Just don't... And he kind of like pulls you away from you, like, don't fuck it up.
I got you, sir. We will take care of this.
Sure.
You don't worry about it.
This was not Kyle, this was Ferdinand.
Oh, sorry, Ferdy. I mistook you for the other gentleman. We got this.
Don't be throwing around honorifics like sir in a personal group. That's just begging for some attention.
I rolled a 23, by the way.
I know you did.
Okay.
Okay.
I walk over to the lady, and I'm like,
You walk over and you have an apple in your hand.
that looks like a rose.
You have it. What do you do? Do you present her with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was going to do.
You walk over kind of with a warm smile on your face, as much as you could muster, which is pretty decent given your charisma.
Regularly handsome, too.
As you kind of present the apple and she looks at you quizzitively, you grab the stem and pull it up, and like a diorama, it opens from where you've cut it, and like dangling from the core is a very well carved and intricately detailed white rose.
For you, my lady.
She takes it and she thanks for a moment. Thank you, but the road is the home for something so delicate.
Oh.
And she hands it to Kyle and says, take care of this.
Hey, you better,
And,
Kyle.
and Kyle holds it, and he looks at you. Just like he's having a small panic attack because he doesn't know what to do with this apple.
What are you saying?
Boy, a bag of holding sure would be.
You say that, and she like turns her head, and he's just like straight face, standing up straight.
That's amazing.
I know how to play with you, Kyle.
Well, is
She
everything
say that too.
Is
Nope, I'm
everything
thinking it.
Okay.
is everything in order to go, brother?
I just got like the whole. Yeah,
All right, well, let's we're burning daylight. Let's head on out.
let's go.
You begin to head out, and the two gentlemen that were brought here by Ferdinand go behind the stable, and they like shoulder and pull out a very well put together. It's nothing to write home about, but it is canopied cart. And once you approach it, you see that it is a 2-horse cart, and it is stocked. On the interior, you see some canvas. You could imagine this goes to like a larger tent. There's mason jars. Well, not mason jars. Clay jars, let's say, lidded, and there's a few crates. You imagine these are food things.
All right.
And you understand that, Rollo, you know that this pony is not gonna be saddled to a cart.
It's gonna be at the very front of it. It's gonna be the leading, like Rudolph.
So you and Edward
Ah,
are
shit.
going to need to ride the cart and have Shadow and Tulip pull it. Unless you would like to saddle.
Wouldn't
wait,
Ferdinand and Edward do that since they're the ones going with them, and me and
Oh, yeah, I
them are
forgot
going?
about Ferdinand's horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tulip and
The unnamed horse.
Cody's horse
Alright,
will need to be saddled to the carriage to pull it.
we'll, you know,
Steer
Wayne,
the
yeah.
carriage.
Yeah.
Wayne, is that the word Wayne?
You take
You
the
take the
reins.
reins, yeah. So yeah, we'll just before, as we're leaving, we'll just reiterate to Kyle, like, all right, we're gonna go about a quarter mile ahead. I'm gonna take you on the path that is most visibly appealing and going to get there safely.
To that note, he reaches into the cart and he pulls out a handful of maybe 100 flags. They're small stakes with like a tassel on them, and he gives them to you to mark the path that they should take.
All right, I'll just kind of set that like in my lap, kinda, so I can just take them out and like toss them into the ground, basically, as we're going. Is this gonna be survival to pick the best path? And
Once you go off the road, it will be survival.
You want to give me half those flags since we're both gonna be doing this?
yeah,
Are
brother.
you splitting up?
No, we're going together, but he'll throw one, then I'll throw one, then he'll throw one.
It's
then
called
I'll throw one.
teamwork.
Sure.
It's fucking teamwork.
Coming to Lake Lorry, you had no issue, for the most part, until you got to one notable area.
Yeah.
The forested area that the road cuts through. So off the top of your head, that's probably the only thing that you'll have to like really look out for.
So we just need to be very careful going through that forested section.
For the stretch up to that point, as it is roughly 3 in the afternoon at this given time, who would like to roll a d6 for me?
I will.
I will. I didn't get to roll one last time.
That's fail.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm gonna
You're about to roll a lot of checks
use
though.
my crystal. 5.
5? That's boring.
Oh.
The day has a nice breeze to it as you've all saddled and reined the horses to the carriages. You see Kyle, he offers his hand and helps the lady onto her pony, and she rides side saddle as Kyle is like a little bit beside her but leading as you two begin to gallop off ahead with Ferdinand and Edward reining the cart. The day is pleasant. The wind is sweet, coming off kind of a western heading. You see distant trees rustle, some wispy clouds. It's a beautiful day, and you proceed with no issue.
Nice.
I shit you not. I made a list.
Nice.
Before the sky is eventually taken by hues of orange and the sun begins to set, you see that, well, you two don't see anything. Edward and Ferdinand, you two see that occasionally the lady will turn her head away from the road and say something to Kyle. She's refined and quiet, so unless you make an effort to hear what she says, you probably will not with your passive perceptions. Do you make an effort to hear?
Yeah, I'll try.
Okay.
Like,
Give me a perception check.
that was a 12.
12. You can't really make out what she's saying. But she remains composed the entire trot along. And eventually, you two, if you're going at like a faster pace,
We are a little bit, but we're keeping about a quarter-mile distance between us and them. But as we're traveling, since this is only going to take a minute, I'm just going to be like, oh, hey, I noticed your head's still bleeding there a little bit, brother. And,
It's been bleeding this whole time.
yeah, I'm gonna cast Healing
just
Spirit.
like every minute you're over there, wipe.
I'm gonna cast Healing Spirit, and a little tiny 5-inch Alfie is gonna pop up on his shoulder and just start like giving him a shoulder massage. And
Oh,
he
that's
will,
the spot.
over the minute, he will heal all the hit points he needs to,
Alright.
because it's a D6 every round.
Yeah.
So you're back to full health. And then the
Uh,
little Alfie disappears.
Almost just at sunset, you two are hitting the forested area.
We'll probably find a good place like right inside the forested area to give us some cover to where we can set up camp for the night. And
Off the road?
Kind of off the road a little bit, just where I would
About,
know.
I'd say about like 10, 15 feet off the road.
Yeah, just where I would know it would be safe for us to do.
Give
and
me
then
a
we'll,
survival check.
We'll make markers to that point to lead them to us. Survival. You want to help me out with this,
Can I
brother?
give him advantage? Or
If you help him, yeah.
yeah.
Natural 20.
Nice.
I
Need
don't
it.
need it.
That's a 30.
You come a little ways into the forested stretch of the road, and you look back, and the trees have kind of obfuscated everything except for the dirt road, and you're like, that doesn't look too bad. And then you look around and probably don't want to camp on the road, so you kind of veer off to the left. And just like, as soon as you break the tree line, you hear just the slightest trickle of water. And you're like, oh, that might be good. So you follow that sound, and maybe 1,000 feet off the road, enough to where if you look back, the road is gone. It's just forest. It all blends in. You do find a clearing. There is a small brook that runs down a small hill, and it makes a small waterfall, a stepped waterfall, before continuing on into like a culvert and re-emerging on the other side. And the area itself, though the canopy kind of bows over it and provides scant sunlight in the setting sun, shot in the shades of orange, it's a beautiful area, and you can see the grass is almost devoid of stones, save for where the river runs, or the brook, I suppose. It's small. I'll get my terminology right. If it's small, it's brook. There's no errant tree branches. It looks like someone may have made camp here before and did a respectful job at leaving it natural. And it looks very pretty.
As long as it looks like they'll have no problem getting the carriage down here, we'll flag that path and wait for them.
Alright. You flag that path, and just as the last bits of light are kind of fading, you see coming through the tree line 2 torches, led by an additional one, handheld by Kyle, and the other 2 are on either side of the cart. But making their way through the trees, it's a bit iffy, and you can see Kyle occasionally guides his horse over to her and like moves branches as so that she would not be disturbed. And you come to the area, and even in the dark, you can see flashes of little fireflies. And it kind of lights the area in a almost ethereal way that you two, specifically Rollo and Alfie, have not seen since exiting the Feywild, and it's reminiscent. It almost stirs up memories of home.
This just shows up memories of home.
I was just gonna say that, brother.
Twinsies.
You can see Kyle, he kind of like looks around the area and takes in the space before nodding at you two. And Ferdinand and Kyle like make a perimeter with the torches that they have available, and they begin unloading the cart.
I'll help them unload the cart, and as we're doing that, we'll
First thing you will
set
notice,
up,
Alfie, there is
watch.
a lot of shit in this cart.
Why do we need to
We'll just
unload
take
the whole
out
cart?
what we need.
Yeah, you take out what you need, which would be the tent, and you move the canvas, and you realize there's a lot here. There's blankets as well, and like a disassembled bed frame, and a rolled mat.
Luxury camping.
Hell. We better get to work, boys.
So while he's doing that,
Kyle kind of like hears you mutter this, and yeah.
Hold on.
while he's doing that, I want to mix my poisons.
Just out in the open.
Yeah, fuck it. I don't give a shit.
Might be a good idea to.
They don't know what I'm
life
doing. I'm
there,
mixing
brother.
up roots and some blue pretty flowers with purple petals.
What are you doing, Edward? Edward's about to come out here with
Leave
magnificent mansion.
Yeah.
I wish.
Yeah,
No, he's probably gonna make that fort and destroy the forest.
is
Speak up and speak at the mic. Oh, you're just showing me something.
tiny hut. Is that
That's not gonna be big enough for
literally
her.
8 feet in radius. 10, 8 feet.
Specifically, look at the word tiny. It might have worked for the jeweler. Especially
But,
since I helped him with his load.
The 3 of you begin unpacking this stuff and setting up camp, and this area is beautiful, and conveniently enough that little culvert that the brook runs underneath forms a very convenient land bridge into a larger open section where you set up this tent, and it's almost like a tent you would see at a circus, supported in the center, and then on the outside it's a rounded tent, and it's sectioned, like you can hang drapes to section off rooms. And as you're setting up the interior, Kyle kind of looks at you and he's like, you probably guessed. We're not sleeping here.
Yeah, I figured. This much.
I just wanted that to be clear. As he's like stringing a line to hang a drape.
Yeah.
But Ferdinand begins constructing the bed and like putting the nightstand together. There's a whole hoshposh here, and by the time it's done, you, Rollo, have been mixing your poisons. Now you know that this is a bit of a involved process. There's some heating elements. There's some breakdown of the compounds and whatnot, and you're doing all of this, just kind of minding your own business. And you do glance up every now and then, and you can see the lady has a small stool near the fire that she's kind of like sitting patiently at. And she does like look at you for a moment before she goes on about her admirance of the surrounding. Eventually, you all get the tent set up and out away from the fire that's very clearly being used for light. Kyle sets up a longer fire and sets a spit and a pot and begins to like cook a meal. As it's moving later into the night, you see him get ushered over by the lady. And he talks to her, and you can read lips.
Yes.
You see, she says, that man, he must be some kind of a brewer. Go and fetch me a tonic.
Oh, shit.
And Kyle kind of stands up straight and gives a nod. Before looking over at you, he looks at you, Rolo. And like, he takes 2 steps forward and he notices what you're doing. And you see this like shadow fall over his face as he approaches you. And like, he goes down to one knee because you're like on your knees messing with this stuff on the ground. And he says audibly, I'd like a tonic, as he like hunches over and produces like a wineskin. And he's like mouthing to you, do you have a bottle? Do you have a bottle? Tell me you have a bottle.
So I reach into the bag of holding, and I pull out the empty bottle that was the bottle of ale that I had in there,
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
and I hand it to him.
Okay. As you pull it out, he kind of like mutters to you again, make a show of it, make a show of it. Prove something.
Okay. So I take the bottle and shit. Under pressure. Okay, got this. So I forgot the fucking name of it, but I start doing like that bartender shit where I like, fucking throw shit around and just like shake it. And I'm just like, oh, got it, okay, cool. And then I pour it into, and then I'm pouring it into the skin.
Okay. As you do, he like takes the cup from you and goes to stand up, and as he stands, he like tips his wineskin into it. And then like you see him produce something else and like put like 3 drops of it into it. And
I
then
see that?
with your perception, you probably would. If you're like anywhere parallel to Rolo, you would.
Hold up a second. What was that you put in there?
It's nothing. It'll make it taste great.
I'm just saying, if it's gonna knock her out, you gave me a funny look when I mentioned what I said. I'm just saying. Don't be a hypocrite.
But
Oh,
he takes the bottle to the woman, and like as he's turning around, you see there's a slight moment where he looks down at the bottle and notices there's a label, and he just kind of like rubs it to tear it off, and then he presents the bottle to her, and then she looks at him for a moment.
I look at her and I tip my hood.
She looks at Kyle for a moment. And he said, oh, I apologize. And he goes back to the cart and he produces like a glass, like a wine glass. And then he pours her a cup of it. And she sips it and she seems satisfied. And as Kyle and Ferdinand work on preparing a meal, it is the most ostentatious camping meal any of you would have probably ever had.
I'm used to squirrel.
Yeah, like, there's no squirrel here. There's, like, a beef broth and, like, roasted pork. Like, there's a whole shebang here. And Kyle serves it to the lady in portions, almost like it was a 5-course meal. And she eats modestly. She doesn't eat very much. And you see, when he plated you all, he kind of grouped you all away.
Right.
Just like, so you don't have to mind your table manners too much. But for most of the night, he's attending her. And eventually, earlier than any of you even, she has him take her to bed.
We should probably.
How much of the poison did I complete?
With one night's work,
I
evening's
would
work,
like
should
to
say.
at least gotten one of each.
One of each. I'll say, give me you're proficient in poisoner's kit.
Yes.
Give me a medicine check with proficiency. So that would be wisdom, I believe, plus your proficiency bonus.
So wisdom plus proficiency?
Yeah.
So we plus 6.
That's a nat 20.
Jesus.
Easily. Choose one or the other, the roots or the hurt flower.
Oh, I gotta choose one or the other?
No, you're making them both, but just pick one for me.
Roots.
Okay. When you write down root poison, asterisk it.
Okay.
Did I just get a regular jeweler's kit earlier?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So it was.
But
it was
the quality of it will help towards you earning your proficiency if that's how you'd like
how,
to do it.
how many of each did I make?
You made one of each,
One of each,
like you
okay.
wanted, but asterisk the root poison.
I will say,
Because you feel as though you did an exceptional job with both of these.
while all that was going on, I was just sitting down, playing a peaceful tune.
Okay. Like your Song of Rest or something.
Say that again?
You have a feature. Bards have a feature. It's called Song of Rest. It's just a thing you can do while you take a short rest. You play music.
Okay.
You're also a bard, and you have proficiency in instruments, so you just play music.
Yes.
That's fair.
Okay.
I wanted to take. So I have like 2 daggers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be on the same side, but I think they're gonna be on the same side, like one on top of each other, like on the belt. On the top
Like an
one,
appendix sheath.
yeah, I guess. For the top one,
Appended.
I want to put the pour the root poison into that sheath it back up.
Oh, you wanted to make like a blade oil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you wanted to make just straight poison.
Do I need to roll again?
No, we'll keep the 20. But asterisk both of them for me.
Ah, shit.
And give me a perception check while you're doing that.
Keep using this die. This die's pretty fucking good. Ah, that wasn't a 20. 19?
19. You begin to mix these poisons using the oil that you purchased.
Oh shit, that's the reason.
And like, you pour out a portion, and it doesn't really smell like oil you would generally burn. You dip your pinky in it and you give it a taste. It's fish oil, but it's more akin to like garum, like an olive oil.
Just out of curiosity, why do I need to burn it?
Oh well, I don't suppose you do. You asked for like burning oil, didn't you?
No, I just wanted oil.
No, he asked it first, and I was like,
No, Bert, you gave me an option. You said lantern
Right.
or oil, and I went for the
Right.
oil. After
That was
choosing the
just a
lantern.
thought in my head for some reason. Normally when I think about oil, I think about catching people on fire. I suppose that's my bad.
This is just for the blade.
But you would know that this is normally like a cooking ingredient.
Ah,
You could reduce it, and it will become thicker, kind of like a gelatin, and that would be a useful bonder.
okay,
You could use
I
that.
did that.
So it takes you an extra step, but you still get your results.
All right, so on the top one, I pour in the root poison,
Mhm.
and then on the bottom one, I pour in the hurt flower poison.
Sure.
Cool.
Hurt flower.
So yeah.
But yes, Kyle eventually exits the lady's tent, and you see him put away a book into like his side satchel. And he kind of like lets his shoulders drop. He puts a finger to his mouth, and you kind of see him just keep it down for a while.
we should
Right.
probably go to bed anyway.
So I'm gonna climb.
But then
up
he
the
comes
tree.
over to you specifically,
shit.
Rolo. He comes over to you, and he produces that little vial. Says, "This is nothing malicious. Here, hold out your hand."
Ha.
And he dips a small drop onto your hand. Give it a taste.
I had bands.
No, it don't really.
I lick it.
What's your favorite flavor?
Oh shit, I wasn't prepared for this. Ale.
Ale? Tastes like the best ale you've ever had.
Oh shit, can I have the rest of that?
No. This is... My family's a 4th generation apothecary. I'm the first one to really branch off. I didn't want to sit and mix herbs all my life. But my dad gave me a few of these when I left the house, and they just make anything you eat taste great.
Can I buy one from you?
Sure. How much are you willing to offer?
Shit, I don't fucking know. 5 gold? It's a vial! And I pull out like the jug of oil. It's not like this big.
Yeah, but just one drop out of something like this, and you can flavor an entire bottle of anything.
Yeah, true. Well, all I got's 5. Sorry.
Here, and he hands you one.
Oh. For 5 or for free?
For free.
Oh, thanks. Put it in the bag of holding. What is it?
Just type in, add vial of flavors,
Okay.
and put a 10 in parentheses next to it. You can use it to flavor 10 things. But Kyle joins y'all before y'all head into bed, and you have the rest of the night to yourselves if there's anything you'd like to do.
Okay.
I think we should probably turn in, set up who's gonna take watch.
I'll take first watch, and I'm gonna climb up a tree, just like sit on the branch, all cool, like my leg hanging off, just like this, looking around.
Sure.
I make it known to the whole group that my name is Truffle Shuffle. So
Kyle notes, I will be calling you Truffle, and that is where I will leave it.
And I will be calling you Shuffle.
Oh, Jesus.
um,
Oh, geez, I should say.
Yeah.
I then practice my shuffling skills, which is top notch. By
Practice
the way.
your shuffles. Is there anything you'd like to do with Sheila?
No.
No. Alright. You all eventually turn in. Rolo, you watch as Kyle goes around and he, like, kicks out the cooking pit that you had used and, like, covers it back up with fresh soil, makes it look presentable. And then he just spends the rest of the night tending the central fire. Ferdinand takes an hour and he goes through this small ritual that you've seen him do a few times, but you've never really paid much attention to. And he calls into being an owl. It looks like a great horned owl, except stark white. And then he sends it off into the trees.
I will take, if we're just doing something for an hour, I'll take an hour to practice my jeweler's kit.
Alright.
To,
Do you practice on the same gym?
I don't have any other ones, so yeah.
Okay. Technically incorrect. But practicing on this gym, you start to find the...
If I have other ones, I'll use those. It doesn't matter.
Well, you don't have other one.
Oh, well, no, but I'm not doing that until we're done with this job, because that's the whole thing.
Practicing with the same jewel, you start to understand the intricacies of it. How the vial, it's clearly some sort of acid. You don't want to use too much of it, you don't want to use too little because it'll throw off your judgment, yada yada yada. You go through it and you spend an hour practicing. But
after about 5 minutes of me practicing my top-notch shuffling
Yeah.
skills,
you look silly, just like doing it by yourself. You're just like in the trees, just wiggling.
but it's top-notch, no at least.
Sure.
But anyway, is there like a little pond nearby or anything?
If you follow the brook upriver a little bit, you do find there's a bit of an aquifer that it collects in.
Because I'm assuming it's been a little bit.
Yeah, it's like the dead of night.
Well, no, I mean,
And as a human, once you leave
Yeah.
the camp, it gets dark real fucking quick. Just letting you know.
yeah. I
Not
use,
for me.
I'll use.
Right, it gets gray real fucking quick. For you.
I'll use prestidigitation, to make some light a little bit.
Sure.
Spark. But anyway, I'll take some time, grab the materials, and we dye my hair
Sure.
black and then head back to camp.
Gotcha. You do that, you head back to camp, and then you go to bed?
Yeah.
Okay. Kyle sees you all to sleep, and he stays up with you, Rolo, for this first leg. And as we wind in to everybody's rests, that is where I would like to end tonight's session.
Whew.
Oh.
Let's have a quick session, I said.
First leg of the escort mission went off relatively well.
I rolled 3 nat 20s. I'm
Wait,
really happy with this.
We didn't say bye to the audience or anything.
Oh,
That's
good.
because we're still recording.
Oh.
Well, yeah, we're
We're just winding
talking
down,
about
dude.
the episode,
Oh.
winding down. Anyway,
I think.
hope you all enjoyed this episode. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you wish.
If I'm if I'm not
yes.
mistaken, this episode will be uploaded around Easter, right?
Close to it. It'll be on the following Friday from now.
Well, in that case, I hope everyone has a happy Easter.
Yes, and have a good rest of your day.
Happy Easter.
Goodbye. Hey, Cody, say bye to the audience.
Bye.
Oh, wait, that's right.